Welcome, everybody, to Diskohollywood Sports Network. The NFL season is about to start. In fact, it's right around the corner. I believe tomorrow is the first game. I managed to get my mitts on Tecmo Super Bowl 2015 with current-ish rosters. What a tune. Distracted. I've decided that I am gonna sim an entire season. I will not be playing the game. Kind of week by week, an episode will come out Sunday mornings. I'm in Eastern time zone, so Sunday morning Eastern. We're gonna sim a season, have fun with it, see if there's any parallels, anything interesting like that. I also, if you guys like this and want more of it, and you get about, let's say, anything about 15 people that want to participate in some sort of tournament in this game based on the simulation. I haven't worked out the formula yet, but if there is something that you guys, kind of like a fantasy type of thing, but not like fantasy football because that would be too much work. We're gonna go ahead and set that up, and it would be a very special prize for the winner. It's something we are actually making on the Diskohollywood channel sometime in the near future. So if I get about 15 people and up to sign on and want to participate in this, there will be a pretty awesome prize ahead. Today's episode, I'm just gonna go quickly through the rosters and give you guys kind of like an idea what the teams are looking like. So I'm just going to try to go quickly and not take up too much of your time. The Buffalo Bills starting off in the NFC East. Tyrod Taylor, LaShawn McCoy. I mean, on paper, this looks like a pretty talented offense. Sammy Watkins. Taylor might be the answer. If not, you got Castle, who's formidable. And on defense, they got a pretty decent defense. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, their safety, strong safety, and free safety have pretty cool last names, and their defensive lineman and their linebacker. Oh, that's kind of funny. So they might be a team to not mess with. On the Miami, Tannehill, I think he's gonna have a breakout year. The running backs might be a little suspect and a little thin in the receiver department. Jordan Cameron's good if he can stay healthy. Defensively, they have a phenomenal defensive line. I mean, the trenches of their defense looks awesome. Yeah, they have two McCains at linebacker. Nice. I don't know how accurate these are going to be, the starting day roster. There's some things I do know and some things I don't. On to the New England Patriots. You know, you got Tom Brady's going to do his thing, the Garrett Blunt, Amendola, Edelman, LaFell, and they just got, who do they just get? Like Reggie Wayne or something. Somebody like that. And Gronk's gonna Gronk all over the damn field, you know what I'm saying? Defensively, you know, obviously Spikes isn't there. But their linebackers are their strong suit, I think, if they can all stay healthy. On to the New York the Jets. I'm sorry. Smith obviously isn't going to be there because he's got his broken jaw, so he's going to miss some time and give Fitzpatrick an opportunity, another one. Running back wise, I don't know if Ivory can handle it, but if Ridley actually gets the reps there, I think he's still there. I think he'll do alright. Receivers, it's always with Geno Smith to have Cumberland, Marshall, and Decker. Defense, I think they're going to be very strong defensively. I really like what they got going on here. Their defense is definitely going to keep them in a lot of games. On to the AFC North. You got Cincinnati. You got Captain Average here, who has a huge contract. And it's confusing to me. Hill, I think, is a beast. I think he's gonna have a very good year. They got a decent receiving core. A little weak at tight end, I feel. Defensively, they're not going to be as good as they have been in years past, I don't think, but they're still going to be a decent team. The Cleveland Browns, sorry. It's the same old story. Journeyman quarterback. West isn't even on the team anymore, so Crow's probably going to get all the carries. Hawkins for a little guy is tough. Hartline's intrigued to see what he'll do there. Bo, man, 4 years ago that would have been awesome. Bainbridge is my sleeper pick. If you're playing fantasy football, you could probably pick this dude up for dirt cheap. If he stays healthy, I think he's gonna have some good numbers. Defensively, I don't know how to feel about them defensively. Although I will say, if healthy, those linebackers are pretty damn good. I hope maybe Shelton's going to be a beast. And I think picking up Williams to complement Hayden was a good add. And Gibson is a ball hawk, and Whitner is actually a really good safety. But with that team, it's all about team management. They have talent. They're just cursed by stupidity. You got your Ravens. You got Flacco. You know he's going to do his thing. Forsett's a decent runner. They got decent receivers. They lost a couple, at least one that I can think of that was a burner, and he's pretty good. What was his name? Torrey Smith? Can't remember. Whoop. Defensively, they're not what they used to be, but they're still pretty. I mean, Suggs is still there. Doomerville's pretty damn decent. I don't know. Don't sleep on their defense. I think they'll get you. And now, I hate to say this, but the Steelers with Roethlisberger, Gradowski's hurt. They brought in Michael Vick, Le'Veon Bell. He's a beast. These receivers are decent. You know, obviously tight end and a couple freaking insane receivers. Defensively, they're still getting a little long in the tooth, I think. They're going to struggle in the defensive backfield, but that won't really matter in this division. Flacco's good, but he's down a great receiver. The Browns are terrible, and Andy Dalton does not he's not clutch. He's not anything special. Sorry, he's a ginger. Now you have the Colts. Luck is going to have a good year because he has done nothing but have a good year. I think Gore's going to be the difference maker. If he could be 80% of what he once was, that's a difference maker right there. Hilton's a beast. Interesting to get Johnson over there. That's great. Moncrief. Oh, it's insane. But here lies the problem. And I know a lot of this isn't even current and what's up to date, but defensively, they're not very good. On to Houston, former Browns starter and hometown hero in Cleveland, Brian Hoyer, decides to take his talents to Texas. Foster's got health issues, always does. Cecil Short's a little midget from actually the Cleveland area. Cecil Short's the third. He's a baller. Hopkins isn't bad either. The tight end Graham's pretty good, but it depends on if they can run. I don't know if those other running backs can pick up the slack. Defensively, I think they're going to do all right. If Clowney can be healthy, he's a beast. Defensive backfield's a little weak, but if you got J.J. Watt, you always got a chance. You know what I'm saying? Let's get on to Jacksonville. Mr. Bortles. He looks happy in that picture. Probably won't be at the end of the year after he's been hit 4,000 times. Because Jacksonville's terrible. Yeldon and Robinson, they're going to get some yards. They got actually a pretty strong running back core. Couldn't tell you anything about any of these receivers, to tell you the truth. So I'm not going to pretend to. Defensively. I think they're okay. I think they're okay defensively. If they can figure out something offensively, I think they can have a somewhat of a bounce back year. Tennessee. You got Mariota. Unproven, but even if they had to pull him and put in Mettenberg, I like Mettenberg a lot. Sankey showed something in little limited time, and he got some decent receivers. Wright, he's a burner. Delaney Walker, you got McCluster now, dude. That guy does a lot of amazing things once he gets the football. We have the defense. I can't tell you a whole lot about it. I think it's decent. I keep saying that word, but middle of the pack defense. Let's go to the AFC West. You have Denver, a typical Peyton Manning team. Now, if he's back and somewhat healthy and they're up like 30-2 on a team, they gotta start putting in Osweiler because he needs the reps. Because Manning's ready to break in half. Anderson can run decently. That doesn't matter who your receivers are. It really doesn't. Peyton Manning's made a career out of turning nobodies into something. Defensively, I think they're going to struggle defensively. I think Ware should have stayed in Dallas because I don't think he's really doing anything up there. If anybody watches this from Denver, is going to be outraged. I think Talib might be overhyped, and TJ Ward is definitely overhyped. Trust me, he is. It's your typical Peyton Manning team, though. Now here is a team that makes me feel old school, and I love it. The Kansas City Chiefs. Alex Smith, is he anything special? No, but he takes care of the ball, and you need that. Jamal Charles is a beast. I don't care how old he's gotten. I love fullbacks. Look at this freaking Malay. Beautiful. Macklin's good. They got Avant too. I don't know who this Wilson guy is. I don't know who that guy is. I'm glad I don't have to try to say the other tight end's name. Defensively, I think they're going to be top 10 defense this year. No doubt. I mean, they were good last year. They were good the year before that. They're going to be alright. Oakland, I think it's going to be actually pretty decent this year. I'm thinking a 500 team with them this year, and I know that's crazy. I think Carr's really good, and I think it's helping, although he went to Oakland, which is a whirlwind of a football team, but Ponder, good for him to be out of Minnesota. The running back, I don't know how they're gonna, if they're worth it, if they're anything. But Crabtree and Cooper, I'll tell you, when Crabtree was in college at Texas Tech, I thought he would have been at that point #1 receiver on like 90% of the NFL teams. I hope he can stay healthy and get back to it because I think he's a baller. Cooper's a beast. Walford's a good tight end. Also have Riviera. I'm not going to sleep on their offense. Defensively, I'm going to put them middle of the pack. They got some players. Nothing great. They got a couple young players that may or may not prove to be studs this year or maybe in the next year. Now San Diego. Rivers, I like him. He's a baller. Mr. Gordon, if he can stay healthy, I'm interested to see what he can do. Woodhead's one of those all-around guys. He has a job thanks to Bill Belichick figuring out what to do with them. Receiving wise, they're gonna be okay. Tight end wise, they're definitely gonna be okay. They got Gates there too. Defensively, I think their defensive backfield's their strong point. I'm gonna say they're weak at linebacker. I just worry about them defensively, but I could be wrong, and hopefully for them, I am wrong. Now to the NFC East. The Washington Redskins. Griffin or McCoy are not starting. It's how did McCoy get on this game before? What's the other guy's name? Kirk Cousins. Cool. Kirk Cousins is quarterback, and honestly, I think he does give them the best chance to win. Morris is a beast. He really is. He's a great runner. Pierre Garcon and I always forget Deshaun Jackson. Those are really good receivers with a decent tight end. So if Kirk Cousins can take care of the football, they have to score points because I think their defense is garbage. If you don't like me talking trash about your teams, leave me a comment and we can hash it out politely. There's no need to be nasty. It's just sports talk. New York Giants. Now I've been on this thing where every other year I think Peyton Manning or Eli Manning. I am sorry, Eli. He has a good year. Now I think he had a decent year last year. So part of me wants to say he's just gonna have a terrible year. But then I started looking at his team. They got Jennings, Vereen, Williams with the running backs. I like them. Vereen is going to help Manning a lot. More than he could ever imagine. And then I get to the receiving with Cruz. Beckham, everybody thinks he's the greatest. And Randall. Don't sleep on this Randall. I like him a lot. I wanted my home team Browns to get him during the draft he came out, but that didn't happen. They just picked somebody who's probably bagging groceries now. Tight end, he's going to get his touches. But I worry a little bit defensively. I like a couple of people in place, but there's just not enough in that division. It's going to be tough because you got Philly, and they're going to be flying. These Eagles are crazy right now. You got Bradford. If he can stay healthy, he's just going to be perfect for this system. Excuse me. Murray's going to get some tough yards. He's going to get some good yards. And they have Matthews, and they also have Sproles. These are some people that just make things happen with the football in their hands. Austin, is an aging veteran possession guy who's going to catch the ball almost every time it's thrown at him. Selleck, and you just have a bunch of people that can make plays, and I think that's what Mr. Kelly is all about. Defensively, I hate to say it, but they're a little thin, but that may not matter with the offense they're bringing. On to Dallas, America's team. Please, for the love of God, can they just win the Super Bowl so I can stop hearing about them? Tony Romo, is he great? No. He's on the border. He's really close to great. Everybody's a bum running back while he's on this team. Brian Williams are decent receivers. When's the man at tight end? I'm not going to lie to you. Defense, and I want to say their offensive line is freaking amazingly awesome. It reminds me of the early 90s. It's crazy. Defensively, they had a couple injuries, and a couple of these people are coming off the board, and that's worrisome. I'm not going to lie. You got to worry about the back 2/3 of this defense. But hopefully they figure it out and have a successful year. On to the NFC North. Oh, Chicago. Chicago. Cutler got one of the best arms I've ever seen. But he just wants to make money. It feels like. I shouldn't say that. He probably has a heart of gold and loves football as much as anybody else. Forte is one of those great running backs that are just going to go unrecognized because towards the end of his career, those Bears teams suck. They should have never got rid of Lovie Smith. Idiots. Eddie Royal, his best years came with color, so I hope they can get some of that back. White is injured. Hopefully he can come back, but White, Alshon, and Royal, and Bennett, damn. That's all I have to say. Get your shit together, Cutler. Defensively, I'm thinking middle of the pack. Mid to lower part of the pack. And it's a shame because the defense used to be what Chicago was all about. But I think they're going to get a little bit better this year. I'd put them... I'm going to pre-rank them at like the 19th offense or defense in the league. But it shouldn't matter because that offense should be number one. On to the Detroit Lions. Stafford's a baller. Interested to see what Bell will do this year. They have Abdullah. Interesting to me. Megatron. Golden Tate. Mr. Pettigrew. Pettigrew is like from the mold of tight end, like physically. I like him a lot. Now defensively, people are going to say, ooh, they lost Sue. They got that Nagata guy. I like him. I actually like the way the defense looks. I'll see how they play, but I kind of like it. Now, Green Bay, there's always one class act. And this is them. Rodgers. It's hard for me to decide which is the best quarterback I've seen in the last 20 years. Rodgers or Brady. That is a discussion for another day. Lacey's a beast. Cobb is awesome. I don't know who Adams is. Unfortunately, Nelson's hurt. But you know what? They're plug and play. Somebody gets hurt, somebody comes in, and they do phenomenally. That's what I love. Quarles is good. That's what I love about this team. Now, if their defense can get better, if that linebacking core can actually play 100% every game, because they're going to need it. They're a little weak in the defensive backfield. But come on, defense in Green Bay, get your crap together. Minnesota, you got Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's going to have a decent year. And I don't know what we're going to get out of Peterson. But you have to at least put, say he's washed up, you at least got to put 8 in the box for the first 5 weeks just in case. And what does that do? That opens it up. Look at... I don't know who Charles Johnson is. Maybe I should, or maybe I do. But Wallace, can he regain some of the stride he had in Pittsburgh? Rudolph's a good tight end. This can be an interesting offense. Imagine if Peterson is good still. Defensively, I think they're okay. I'm going to once again say they're middle of the pack. They're going to throw in some clunkers, though. Teams do that. The NFC sucks. I mean, South. Tampa, I'm sorry. Winston, I don't think he's anything special. I could be wrong. Running back wise is obviously it's going to be probably Martin and Rainey get most of the touch. I think the talented ones. The receivers are decent. Tight ends decent. Defensively, yeah, I don't know what to say about them defensively. I don't think anything's special here. Sorry if you live in Tampa for more than one reason. New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees doing his thing. He's an amazing quarterback. Not a great person to boot. Ingram and Spiller. Spiller is going to kind of be like their Sproles replacement, I think, from a couple years ago. I think Ingram's going to have a good year. Cook and Nick Toon, I believe, is Al Toon's son. I don't know if you remember Al Toon, but one of my favorite receivers back in the day. Ben Watson. I love Ben Watson. Can he replace Graham? I don't think so. Defensively, they're in trouble. So hopefully some of those offensive pieces are studs, because they're going to need it. I'm sorry. Very sorry. Atlanta. Will Brian have a bounce back year? Will the offensive line decide to play? Do they have a running back that can actually run through a hole if it's created and isn't 400 years old? If those things happen, then Jones and White, damn. And Tam, I don't remember exactly how to say his name, but he's a pretty good tight end. But these receivers, if they have a formidable running back, I think they're going to have a bounce back year. Defensively, I think they're okay. Once mid to bottom, I'm going to put them, I would rank them like 17th, would be my preseason ranking on them. Carolina. If you're from Carolina, you love this man. If you're not, you think he's okay, talent-wise. He needs either focus on being a running quarterback or focus on throwing the football. He's not good enough to do both. He's not Steve Young. I'm sorry. Very few people were. He's definitely not Randall Cunningham. He's not even Michael Vick from that perspective. Running, they're always going to run the ball well. Benjamin's hurt, I believe. But Ginn will just jump in. And he's a speedster, but then that leaves a hole at returning. Olsen's a good tight end, though. There's weapons there. Defensively, they're going to be pretty good defensively, I think. There's a lot of solid talent there. Now to the NFC West. The San Francisco Suckin' Niners. Colin Kaepernick did his best work already this year in the Madden 16 trailer. As I talked about that already. You got to just give the ball to, like, all these running backs non-stop. Reggie Bush is give as many touches as you can. Hyde, Carlos Hyde, because Torrey Smith is good, and Bolden's one of my favorite receivers of all time. That Bolden is seriously one of the toughest receivers ever, but I think he's 106. And God, I don't know when his contract's up, but he's got to get the hell out of there. Imagine Davis in New England. Two tight ends like that. Jeez. Defensively, God, I feel bad for the team. Would they have two people retire? One person's probably in jail or whatever. And after those names came off the board, you can't name another person on the team. Just what a train wreck this team has become. And yet, a university felt they should take the head coach that put the team in that disarray to, help mold the youth. Stupid. The Rammies. Foles, stay healthy. Gurley, will he be the beast? Let's hope so, because it's going to open up for these freaking young, talented receivers. Alright, Britt's not young anymore. But Austin and Bailey, if they need to run the ball, though, take some pressure. I think they're going to be pretty decent defensively. Do I really need to do Seattle? Alright, let's do it. Wilson, Lynch is going to start to decline with his abilities. It's just nature. There's no way you can maintain. With Baldwin, Kurtz, and Richardson, and Graham, they can get 80% out of Lynch, and then Wilson can continue to grow because he's like the fastest growing mental quarterback with the least physical traditional quarterback skills. I think he's tops there. Defensively, they're going to be good, but they're not going to be as good as they have in years past. They're going to run into some problems, no doubt. People I don't think are afraid of Sherman anymore. They're going to start coming at him. Arizona here. Palmer, please stay healthy. We saw what happened last year. They could get some sort of running game. Please, they'll be alright. Fitzgerald, I think, is 1,003, but he's still the man. Brown, gotta love what that dude does. Floyd's gonna be a stud for a while. Not sure about this Fells character, but defensively, what if they could stay healthy here too? Jesus, remember last year? It's insane. They need to stay healthy, and I think they would be a contending team. I'm gonna go ahead and pick my playoffs here. I got Seattle winning the division with Arizona tied record-wise, but Arizona will get losses against Seattle. I'm going in this division. I'm going to pick New Orleans and Atlanta because I really think it's a bounce-back season for them. Out of this division, I have the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. If Peterson could give what he's used to giving, I'm telling you, it's going to be an interesting team up there. Out of the East, I am picking the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants because Dallas can suck it. I just think it's one of those years, the up year of the Giants. We'll go here into this division. I'm going to pick Kansas City to win division and Denver to get the wild card from here. I am going to pick Indianapolis Colts to win the division and the Tennessee Titans for the wild card. We're going to pick the Steelers and the Ravens over here. And I was really torn. I'm obviously going to pick New England because they're the best. And I'm going to go with Miami. I think this is the year Tannehill gets over the hump. But don't sleep on Buffalo. And I'm sorry, the Jets. You are still the Jets. Like I said, if we get enough people, if you want in, you hit us up with a sub. And I'll give you some details. Sorry for that pause. I'll give you some details. Hit us up with a sub or drop a comment. If you want to get in this competition, I'd like to get at least 15 people, and I'll set up how it's going to go. If I get the people, we'll put a format together, and it'll be more easily laid out, and we'll have a pretty sweet little prize for the winner, and maybe even a second and third place prize. Thanks for watching the preview of the the Super Tecmo Bowl NFL season for 2015. Watch the rest of our stuff. Distoberfest is pumping right now, so I'm going to go ahead and watch some of our stupidity for Distoberfest. Our regular program shows, the Disco Squad, NES Tales, Subnautical. Those things are still going to be coming out, so stay tuned and why don't you sub up for us. Thanks for watching. Peace out.